Story time with Game Master Mike. Hey folks, this is going to be a story about my SATs from elementary school when I was in the 1st through 7th grade. Now, after the 7th grade, it was changed to something else, which I forget. But when I was in elementary school, it's usually called like the Stanford 9 test. That's what we've called it. But after that, it was changed to something else, which I had to take it when I was in my sophomore year of high school. I had to take it again, and after that, we didn't take it. But this is going to be mainly my SAT stories when I was in elementary school. Mainly when I was in the 4th grade, I got to tell you that story about it. But here's the thing. The SATs when I was in elementary school, about depending on what classes in the future, whether it's going to be advanced placement or a slow applied class, like I had to take applied math through my 4 years of high school, which is a much easier version of math, but there's a story to it which I'll explain to it in a much later video about my math class stories when I was in high school. But moving on to my SAT stories, this is going to be mostly about my 4th grade year. Now, when I was in the 4th grade, I was put in a class about this girl that would cry over everything for no apparent reason. And of course, I was like, oh my God, I have to sit in a class with her and a mean teacher, by the way. My 4th grade teacher was not that pleasant, by the way. It's almost like she doesn't like children, I'd say. But here's what happened. This is when I was in the 4th grade. So it was on a Friday morning, you know, waiting at the bus stop. My dad drove me up to the bus stop and wasn't a fender bender with another car, because that's a 4-way stop, and I think, not sure if he or that person that rammed into me at the right of way, but it was kind of confusing back then. So anyway, I got on the bus and headed to school. It was that Friday of my SATs. So anyway, we got started, and pretty much this girl, like I said before, cries out over everything. Pretty much did not take the test. Instead, she drew pictures. And then the teacher walked up to her. She grabbed the picture and threw it in the garbage. And she said, "Don't throw it away!" And then she put her head down on the table and started crying while the teacher yelling at her. You wouldn't want to believe what she said to the teacher after that. She told her, "I hate you, bitch!" And everyone in the classroom gasped. I gasped the loudest, and the teacher continued to yell at her for that and for calling the teacher a bitch. And then the girl again smacked the teacher in the face and then ran away from school. Oh my God, she hit the teacher. So anyway, I was shaking constantly like a chihuahua. Oh my God. Luckily, we were all done with our SATs when that happened. You know, like I said in one of my elementary school recess detention stories, that this boy, when I was in the 2nd grade, while he was in the 1st grade, his nickname was the Son of Dahmer, also ran away from school a few times. Well, she did again. So after recess, when we come back, her mom found her and drove her back to school. And the mother was crying her eyes out along with her while the principal was screaming at her. And for some apparent reason, when I got back from the classroom, I don't know if it has something to do with my emotions, that I started bursting into tears, or I was fearing for my life, and I didn't want to call him sick because of that. So that's what pretty much happened during the SAT stories. And here's a well, not a recent update because it's been a while, but 5 years down the road, my freshman year of high school, something a lot similar had that happen at Pizza Hut when I was my freshman year of high school, when I was eating dinner there with my family, but it wasn't her. It was her youngest son, which pretty much did the same thing over Yu-Gi-Oh! Did that to her mom, but did not run away, but put her head on the table and cried. So we saw that at Pizza Hut years ago, but not recently. So that was my stories about my SATs when I was in the 4th grade. I cannot believe something like that happened. Like I said, I'm going to tell you a story in the much future video about my sophomore and senior years of high school when somebody ran away from school and they had to call the police to come to get them. But that's going to be in a much future video. So from then on, about my 6th grade year, I had to take my SATs in a different classroom to make it a lot easier and for somebody to help me with my SATs test. I've never scored the greatest on them. It was just like a test to see what classes you get in the far future, especially in high school. But I've kind of liked it because you're not allowed to get homework after your SATs, because I'm guessing because it's a lot stressful, but for that entire week it's homework free, which is very amazing, and I'm glad that has happened to do it. But the test can be a lot stressful. It's like finals in college, but it's an ABCD question instead of like questions that you gotta write out an entire phrase. But I really do enjoy that, which I'd prefer in tests when I was in elementary school, by the way. So pretty much that was it. That was unbelievable about what I saw when I was in the 4th grade. I cannot believe it with my own eyes that she would call the teacher a bitch and then smacked her face. Like, I would not even do that to a teacher, even back then or now, but that is wrong. Well, she got punished for it, and I would not do that at all. Well, folks, there you have it. That is my SAT stories when I was in elementary school, and I hope you enjoy this video a lot. And until next time, there's going to be more stories soon because I enjoy telling you all stories. And until next time, thanks for watching. And thank you very much.